Select order.
Here. Right here. All this. KOF starts right here. Right here. This. Right here. 100%. This is where the game starts. Before you hit any buttons against any character, this is where the game starts. 100%. Alright. So here we go. Let's talk about playing KOF right here. Okay? This is where we start the game, right? Generally speaking, you know, right? This is as far as we know right now in terms of meta, right? We know every person playing Vanessa, Ralph, Terry is gonna play that shit in this order, right? That's safe to say, right, stream? Thank you. So, we know this, right? Now, we don't know this person that we're playing, but we know that they have this team. But it's pretty obvious that they tend to run Vanessa first, right? Okay, no problem. So, how do we deal with this? Let's problem solve. First off, as a Vanessa player, personally, I believe Isla gives Vanessa a tough time. It's not a free matchup, but I think that the way Isla moves around, it can be tough for Vanessa to do stuff, especially without meter, right? So, Isla already has a good matchup in my opinion, so it makes sense, right, to put Isla on point. Makes sense. Makes sense, right? Now, the good thing about Isla is Isla in essence, I think also, personal opinion, with the way that she works, has a decent matchup against Ralph also. Isla by herself does well against all three of these characters. All three. Literally. Now, at that point, let's say we beat Vanessa, but we lose Isla to Ralph, right? We know Ralph does all this standing D normals and all of the crazy stuff and just... But you don't have to deal with that, right? So we have two zoner characters, or characters who control neutral with fireballs on the team, right? Athena's fireball is mad sick. How is he gonna contest? If he's constantly spending 1 bar or 2 bars just to hit you out of Psycho Ball, he does not have any meter to do several things. 1, he can't confirm in the max mode. 2, he doesn't have EX moves to rely on. And by that I mean EX ground pound, right? So at that point, it doesn't matter, right? So let's say Athena does her job, beats Ralph. Terry now has to deal with 2 zoners, right? Athena's mobility is better than Terry's. Athena's fireball, arguably better than Terry's. Terry may have the damage in this slot, but so does Athena. And Athena doesn't need meter to do that much damage like he does. She can use 1 to 2 bars and do really good damage. He has to spend whatever he's gonna spend to kill her, because he needs to get to Joe. And at that point, he has to deal with 2 characters that can function in the same fashion. And then Athena builds all this bar for Joe. Let's say Athena loses to Terry. Terry has like half life, or like, let's say Terry has 45% HP. Joe's coming in with he has full HP and he's got 3 bars. Better fireball, better DP, better neutral. He has a burn knuckle with thrust kick. He has his moon kick jumps over his half circle back, I forget what it's called. But like, that move jumps over his fireball, so he can contest the fireball if he wants to. And Joe doesn't need to activate max mode to kill him. He can just play the neutral and just completely fuck him over. And then let's say Joe wins. That's the game, right? Now, this player has to think about this now. You have this order again. You don't have to change this order. They have to think. Now they have to think. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? Like, KOF starts here. If they switch up the order, and let's say Terry's in the middle and Ralph's in the back, even better for Joe and Athena. Even better for Joe and Athena. Because now Terry is the one that's going to be using the max mode, right? Athena's not going to be anywhere near him to deal with max mode. She's going to just get the hell away. She's not going to deal with that. That's why I say, like, the order select is important. And you know what the best part is? You can swap between Athena and Joe for anchor to deal with the situation. So remember, even though you win a match in KOF, you can't switch teams, but you can change your order. The only thing that this team has over the team on the left is potential damage output. But this team pokes and prods at this team. So in other words, the team on the right is more prone to running into shit than the team on the left. So it doesn't mean that like it's gonna play out that way. So that's why I say, like, just because like Vanessa Ralph Terry is like a strong team, it doesn't mean there aren't characters that can't box it. They exist in the game. They hella exist in the game. It's just, do you want to pick it? You just gotta keep this team from doing its thing. Not easy though. It's just a matter of learning how to play. That is my lesson, kids. Please heed my words, man.